Let me ask you something. Is your business data easy to find, or is it, well, a frustrating maze? So many organizations are struggling with this, They're trying to give teams the data they need without IT turning into a permanent bottleneck. So today, we're going to architect a solution on Azure that transforms that data chaos into a clear, trusted marketplace.
So let's just dive right in. I want you to think about your organization's data right now. When someone needs an answer, do they walk into a well-organized marketplace where everything is easy to find? Or do they get lost in a confusing maze full of dead ends and sources they can't really trust? This one question, it gets to the absolute heart of the problem we're solving here.
In this slide, it just perfectly frames the whole journey. Over on the left, you've got the old way. And for a lot of us, this is going to look really familiar. IT is just swamped with requests, data is locked away in all these different silos, and let's be honest, nobody really trusts the numbers. But on the right, that's the goal. That's the new way. We're talking empowered users, a single source of truth, and this brilliant idea of governed freedom, which is just a fancy way of saying you can explore data freely, but within safe, secure boundaries. Let's break down how we actually get there. Okay, so first we have to really understand the problem we're trying to escape. I like to call it the data Wild West. It's this place where everyone is just desperate for data to make better decisions, right? But the landscape is so chaotic that no one can trust a thing they find. And the fallout from this chaos? It's pretty severe. IT becomes the only gatekeeper, which creates this incredibly frustrating bottleneck. Business users can't get timely answers, so they either give up or, even worse, they go off and create their own versions of the truth. And that just leads to more disconnected silos. It's a vicious cycle of inefficiency and mistrust. So how do we fix this whole mess? Well, we move from the Wild West to a civilized society. We build a data marketplace. And I want you to think of it just like a really nice grocery store. It's clean, it's organized, and it's filled with products you can actually trust, all in one place.
Now, the goal here isn't just to throw data at people. It's to empower them to find answers for themselves. But, and this part is absolutely crucial, they're doing it independently and safely, using data that has been curated, certified, and is 100% trustworthy. All right, let's get into the how. Let's pop the hood. We're going to lay out the technical blueprint for this marketplace, and we'll be using Microsoft Azure. We're going to follow the data's entire journey, from being just a raw material all the way to a polished product sitting on a virtual shelf ready for our business users to grab.
This right here is basically the assembly line for our data products. Step 1, we ingest all the raw data from our different sources. Think of this as all the fresh ingredients arriving at the factory. Step 2, we use a really powerful tool like Azure Synapse to clean, shape, and model that data. This is where we turn the raw stuff into a high-quality product. Step 3, we expose these finished products through Datamarts, which is like putting the final product on the store shelf. And finally, Step 4, our business users can explore and analyze all this great data using tools they already know and love, like Power BI.
Now, there's a really crucial component in this whole marketplace called a semantic model. This is kind of the magic ingredient. If your data product is a can of soup, the semantic model is the label on the front. It hides all the complex, messy stuff inside, like weird table names and join keys, and it just gives you simple, understandable business terms like total sales or customer region. This is what makes the data approachable for everyone, not just the data scientists.
Okay, so we've built this beautiful store, but we can't just swing the doors open and let everyone run wild. That's where governance and security come in. We have to answer two really basic questions. Who's allowed into our data marketplace, and once they're inside, what are they allowed to see? So the first layer of security is RBAC, or Role-Based Access Control. The easiest way to think about this is like a key card to get in the front door of the store. Based on your role in the company, sales, marketing, finance, whatever, RBAC determines if you can even enter the marketplace. It's a simple yes or no. Are you on the list? But once you're inside the store, we need even more granular control. And that's where RLS, or row-level security, comes into play. This is like your special pass that only lets you go down certain aisles. So for example, you could have two regional sales managers looking at the exact same sales report, but because of RLS, the manager for North America only sees North American sales data, and the European manager only sees European data. It's the same report, but they see different things, and it's all managed automatically. It's incredibly powerful stuff. So we've covered a lot of really powerful technology here. We've talked Azure Synapse, Power BI, RLS, but I've got to be honest with you. The technology, that's only half the battle. To truly succeed with this, we have to focus on the human element.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Technology gets you started, documentation, training, and ownership get you to the finish line. You can build the most brilliant, elegant technical architecture in the world, but without these three things, clear documentation, ongoing training, and a real sense of ownership from the business, your beautiful marketplace is just going to sit empty.
So how do you actually build this culture? Well, it really rests on four main pillars. First, you need certified datasets so users know what they can trust. Second, you have to assign clear business owners for each data product. Third, you've got to provide continuous training, not just a one-and-done thing. And finally, you foster a community where people can actually help each other out. This is how you build a thriving culture around the technology.
And that really brings us to our final thought. Building the technology, the Azure architecture, that's the foundational step for sure. But the real work, the true measure of success, it starts the day you open the doors. So the question I'm going to leave you with is this. You've built the perfect marketplace. Now, how are you going to empower its very first citizens to make sure it actually thrives?